Over the years, I have come as an individual to associate the name Biafra within Sobu, unending struggle, both informed and uninformed. We are the only itinerant people in the world, anywhere in the world, that I can remember that has a neglected homeland. One of the ways to kill them, I can tell you for free that anybody who has said or who is saying that the ESN or I.M.O, if not for the activity that what happened in Benue would have happened in the Southeast, the person is a beast and a liar. Be it Wazurike, be it Nnamdi Kanu, be it Simon Ekpa. I have not seen any of them advance any progressive cause that would positively transform either the economic or social fortune of Igbo, of their generation, of my generation and generation that is coming ahead of us. How we see is just utter destruction. At best, it has become if I say criminal enterprise, it looks like I'm trying to call them criminals, but that's exactly what it is if you asked me. So it has developed in Igbo what you may define as the victim mentality.
Biafra is a hope for survival. As Igbo, we are super marginalized. Or one of the injuries on us due to Biafra. Biafra bụ ndị Igbo mee ya. Ando maka ife mai ka iji wee gbaje dia. At the time, we had no hope to survive except that Ojukwu took it upon himself and declared Biafra. Whether it was a blunder or not, it was the spur of the moment. Ndị Igbo, for the hope of survival, encouraged and championed Biafra.
Marginalization is a social fact. It exists even in the most egalitarian society. Just like crime, it is commensal to human nature. Onwe BJ, an uneven distribution of resources or opportunity or even life itself. I am Igbo, Abrom Biafra.
Isedo, when you hear Biafra, what comes to your mind?
There's some foreign adaptation to define a geographical space of persons ethnically known as Igbo. Over the years, I have come as an individual to associate the name Biafra within Sobu, unending struggle, both informed and uninformed. Because in the course of this, trying to establish or situate Biafra or find a meaning to Biafra, but in terms of human and in terms of material, we've lost some of our best brains, Mandengo Naga, which of course later was defined as almost needless. Over the years, it has continued to resurge like a tumor, not properly handled. The fact is that it's looking like in our time, Obologo, a carcinogenic stuff that has metastasized, Obiago, Deko, it's not only a problem, but it's also threatening a generation of Igbo. And it's not something personally I want to associate with in the context.
In Nigeria, in the 60s, onweloko obodo side ewe gbuo ndị Igbo ka esi gbuo ndị Igbo ewe declare ka gabazie elu nwanyị ewe chọba afa a ga-aba ndị side a wee baa anyị afa Biafra ka ana Igbo mana abịa ọ dịka ọsọsọ ndị Igbo bụ ndị Biafra due to ụdị afụfụ anyị tagolu maka Biafra. Whether ma onye ọbụla achọrọ ya ma ọ chọghị ya, ife butelu Biafra bụ the hope of survival that we can survive.
Get the hopeless about ndị Igbo in the 60s that we needed that hope. Go ahead, please.
In the 60s, it was hope to survive that encouraged and motivated precisely ndị Igbo to champion Biafra because it was an ethnic cleansing. We were hopeless about life.
Okay.
Survival. Idigodondo. Remember now in the 60s, Ka Egbulu, a head of state, Boni Igbo, where he was killed and was murdered. Agree, you won't say.
That was a coup, right?
It was a counter coup, not even a
counter coup. In the name of a coup.
Yeah,
but he was intentionally killed as Boni Igbo. And a pogrom ensued. And it didn't stop there, it continued. At the time, we had no hope to survive except that Ojukwu took it upon himself and declared Biafra. Whether it was a blunder or not, it was the spur of the moment. Ndị Igbo, for the hope of survival, encouraged and championed Biafra.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
See, I'm a pan-Nigerian. We are not too large to govern. Neither are our differences irreconcilable. The only problem with Nigeria is that we accentuate our fault lines more than those things that unify us. The question now is Igbo Onyibo? What makes you Onyibo? Oepota neti Biafra agitation, and yet in the course of this so-called marginalization, either contrived or real, we still have Igbos who are doing so well in this space where we are marginalized. As a matter of fact, if you look at the poverty index of the country of Nigeria today, I am sure that Southeast has the least in terms of the states and areas where you have people who are living below the poverty line. I said, like the Jews, we are a very itinerant people. We are the only itinerant people in the world, anywhere in the world, that I can remember that has a neglected homeland. One of the ways to kill them, because there's nothing here for them to even survive on. So marginalization is a social fact. It exists even in the most egalitarian society. Just like crime, it is commensal to human nature. An uneven distribution of resources or opportunity or even life itself. When you bring it down to ethnicity, you lose the focus, you lose the meat. And if we want to make it about ethnicity, I still tell you that we'll be the biggest loser. Show me one major investment of a core northerner in the southeast, Nabro Abro filling station. Or maybe a banner, ma ewu and the rest of it. Or shanty. The day Igbo pium fajoso chocolate banana trailer also.
As Igbo, we are super marginalized because of Biafra, or one of the injuries on us due to Biafra. Biafra bundibo meya. And don't make ife mai kaiju bajedia. So for me, Biafra should be discussed, and also emphasis should be laid on the difference of being Igbo and being Biafra. For so many years, that propaganda of Biafra has been there, and the only way to redeem our people from it is to discuss it and reform that mindset. More people believe they are Biafra than people who don't believe that they are Biafra.
Okay, Chuku. All the money you have been spending on Omowani and clubbing, if you have invested it in land banking with the Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited, all this loan app will not be pursuing you up and down. One, stop learning. Come and invest in land banking with the Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited.
You say you have reasons why you don't really align with whatever Biafra
represents.
Is it now or before or ever?
At the end of the day, after the Biafran War, all the texts, both on the Nigerian side and some Biafran veterans who wrote about it, it was a no victor, no vanquished outing. At the end of the day, the war has left in its trail a lot of damaged mindset. There are families that no longer exist who were killed needlessly in that war. I tell people that as no also Yane made the same thing over and over again, a different result. You get it? If you talk about Igbo, I they can Jew, Mananya Brondi Jew. But the difference between you and the Jews now was that they were solution-minded. They have not in any way or in any form repeated that thing that made them susceptible to, whether you like call it marginalization or Holocaust or anything. They have become intentional with developing their homeland. That is why today you have the state of Israel, where any Jew, whatever he is in the world, can run back to and live life and accomplish himself to there. And that is why I say, for me, what Biafra has come to represent for me will bring Sobu. Because be it Wazurike, be it Nnamdi Kanu, be it Simon Ekpa, I have not seen any of them advance any progressive cause that would positively transform either the economic or social fortune of Igbo, of their generation, of my generation and generation that is coming ahead of us. How we see is just utter destruction. At best, it has become a lucrative, if I say criminal enterprise, it looks like I'm trying to call them criminals, but that's exactly what it is if you ask me. It has become a selfish enterprise for them. If you look at the life of activists, it's almost like the life of early missionaries. They have zero regard for materialism. Selflessness. But you cannot say same of some of these people. These our, let me call them neo-Biafran agitators. To some of them, it doesn't go beyond the naira and kobo of the struggle. That is why you go to a place like New Owerri, where Wazurike has his palatial mansion, and you begin to ask yourself, is this the home of an agitator, or is this the home of a former head of state, or the home of a former business mogul? I onye dosachi ya nejo kevo bosa. Kedafi Wazurike na hazode. Keveji Malaya. As no lawyer. Yes, as a lawyer, he's of the mold of Ned Nwoko, who you say yes made money from litigation, helping countries recover funds and all that. There's nothing to his name apart from Epota. You get people, brainwash them, raise funds from diaspora sources and local people, and you say you are agitating. Agitating for what? What is it that we did wrongly in 1967 that ended in 1970 that we shouldn't repeat again in this 21st century, in this period? Has anybody sat down to have that structured conversation about what Biafra really is? Or what Igbo should really be driving or thriving towards? As of today, we appear like a people that are confused. So we have become a people that are almost rudderless. So it has developed in Igbo what you may define as the victim mentality. And you ask yourself, the person who is in Canada, for instance, or in the US, doing well, maybe sending monies at home, maybe as the breadwinner, diaspora remittances and all that. But this person, the last time you checked, and won't be anything this significant he has done for his immediate community. Probably. But somebody somewhere has just sat down behind the microphone and told him that there are Fulanis behind his father's farmyard and that they are coming to destroy everything. So he should bring money. And you see people sheepishly throwing in resources, throwing in money, not knowing that they have inadvertently been empowering the actual criminals who have been tormenting Igbo. So in the light of that, I am very clinical in defining the difference between Biafra and Igbo. I am Igbo, Abron Biafra. Biafra for me has become a deliberate ploy to self-annihilate if you don't watch it.
Self-destruct.
Yes.
Good news. From anywhere you are in the world, you can now be our guest on Gbam. As long as you have an internet connection and a mobile device, you can now be interviewed from our studio anywhere in the world. Contact the numbers on your screen to book a session with us. The lone voice you were talking about, let's cite Mazen Namdekano, for example. Whenever he's talking, he's not just talking about Igbo as Biafrans. He covers Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Edo, he covers them, and they have failed to heed to his preachings. They don't buy whatever he's saying. Do you think that Igbo buying what he's saying, don't you think he's actually just out of sentiment? Why is Asaba people not having people invade them and say, don't come out? But they are doing it in the 5 eastern states. Don't you think that it is a system that bought it in an Igbo? It's a system. There is a system. There is an organized system that bought it in an Igbo. Don't you think that that's out of sentiment? And do you think that we are doing better than people that their system did not buy it?
In my opinion, I suspect that one of the reasons why Kano is still in detention is because the leading class are scared of his freedom and continuous evangelism to Igbo. This will show you that lone voice has gone so deep into the society that you had nothing in your mind. Only one message comes in. That is the only thing you will process. So a majority of Igbo are not enlightened, but they are experiencing the hardship as a result of the marginalization on Igbo due to Biafra. Whether we like it or not, the earlier we start discussing Biafra as a reality, the better for us than avoiding it. Nnamdi Kanu, who is discussing it, people are falling in line with the realities of the time. We are super marginalized as Igbo. It was intentionally created. We are not Southeast. We are not positioned at the Southeast, but we are called Southeast. We are landlocked. It was done intentionally. All these are as a result of Biafra, because we championed Biafra. You will just understand that God created us specially. That is why we are surviving. Imagine that after the war, every Igbo, irrespective of how much you had in the bank, received 20 pounds. Not all Biafrans, so Igbo precisely. Not all Biafrans lost their properties in other locations except Igbo. So Biafra has brought so much upon us that from our childhood till now, we are emboldened to intend to discuss it and also be able to create a line between Igbo and Biafra as a whole, so that we can protect, promote, and project Igbo interests.
I want to make healthy living a culture in our society. The time to make exercise, sweat, that sweat is very important. Ibana garden, bela kukwani, very natural food. Or if your body need it, just nyobana de tuchubusike.
Keta anya amaga ebe mmiri bido wee maba anyị. from you. Mira okana manyi keta ikwenye kesi eme now. Go ahead.
Yes, my opinion, Bona. Most of us are reacting, but we should be responding. This agitation, nketata, or the counterproductive. Formula age now, Tibozo Bo, that didn't accommodate all, especially our elites and stakeholders. Tiny need a formula that will inculcate all, maximize impact, and serve the peoples.
Part of the promises or part of the opium that some Biafra advocates, or most of the Biafra advocates, they listen the Bible at best utopian thinking. And we have Biafra, if I dem bus driver, or commissioner for transport, or what I call or head of military, or brigadier general, colonel of Biafran army. Those kind of false impression, those kind of false narrative of an egalitarian, crime-free, prosperous, and trouble-free society is what they sell to our people who have become largely impressionable. I can tell you for free that anybody who has said or who is saying that the ESN or I.M.O, if not for the activity that what happened in Benue would have happened in the Southeast, the person is a beast and a liar.
A beast and a liar, that's I.M.O man.
The person is talking without data. The person is talking from the point of view of a vested interest that I think the authority should capture him and get what that interest is. And the blood of innocent Igbo and wasted. But I say yes. If not for the weight of office and for what we have come to represent today, I should use more stringent words against these people. Because what they are doing is to try to redefine the face of an entire people.
What do you recommend? We've been speaking about the problem.
My recommendation is that we have to have a structured conversation around this whole thing, this thing called Biafra, and decide the kind of Biafra we want. You get it? The kind of Biafra, I would look at the Biafra that is an autarky. An autarky in the sense that we would have no business with anything called Nigeria. Tell you for free, I read in Unity. I know some of my guys, I said it last time I was in Gbam. That time when my classmate today, Kevin, I said, you still the Oka. You still the Oka.
Lions Den.
You can't say that to somebody who you know that again. When I say, where are you? I'm in Lagos. You say, you see the Lagos. That kind of question. Because everything the person needs to survive, from school to work to everything to one and everything, no dear in Lagos. Mm-hmm. So, where after all, he's here, baby, he wants to go to the island. Or J Lekki or J Ikoyi or JVI, JB Holiday. You J Seychelles or J any other part of the world. He's almost the same thing as you. There is no incentive. There's no compelling reason why he wants to leave Lagos or why he wants to leave Abuja also. So this is exactly the same thing that we should think about the Southeast. So that today, or with the life outside this place. That should be our focus. Part of the things people say that makes the poor now want to be energized and say, hey, we're going to Zobu. It's like when you now come and tell them, why are some of these miracle centers in quote, why do you find a large amount of poor, jobless people always strong in there? Because the preachers there will make you understand that no, that big man in a village had the destiny if I were boba. Hey! Oh, this man, hey, Jesus, Holy Ghost fire. When kind of Holy Ghost fire they think we are boni mechi shop on Monday on a shop na azwafia. Even God worked for 6 days and rested 1 day. So in the success equation, in being a successful society, it's not a function of how long you pray, it's a function of how productive you are.
Inwere akọpụlụ iche ịchọ ka ụwa nọ. Inwe ife dị n'obi ịchọ ikwu gbam. Inwere ife dị omimi ịchọ ka onye ọbụla malụ. Onwere akala aka izole ezo ịchọ ka ụwa fụ na inwe passion for. Bịa na Gbam ka ụwa nụ onu iyi. Inwere business ịchọ ikwunye n'ọkụ. Onwe product ịchọ ka o soro na Gbam. Ịchọ ka ife ị na-ele, ife ị na-eme na-aga as viral as Gbam. We are here for you. Contact the number on your screen. Gbam is the biggest Igbo interview in the world. Come and find out for yourself. Thank you.